My goddess God, today I think that I am about to say something in this video that might offend one or two people. And so I understand that. This idea that only beings that are born with vaginas are capable of providing maternal energy, nurturing energy. I think that it is the most blatant example of the trauma that lots of beings who identify as women are holding on to as a result of being, some of them being captives in a hegemonic, monotheistic, patriarchal society that has historically been violent towards womb-bearing individuals who did not conform to these expectations and ideals about what womanhood is. Womanhood today itself has been influenced and impacted and pretty much shaped and molded by patriarchy, by a hegemonic environment. And so it makes sense why those who identify as women, Black women in particular, continue to have conversations that don't acknowledge reincarnation, that don't acknowledge that the divine feminine can be housed in other vessels besides those that possess vaginas. It's crazy how male beings can come from vaginas, but male beings cannot express maternal energy. That's weird. That male beings can come from females, but cannot express, show up, or impact society and culture in a way that is connected to the divine feminine. Womb-bearing individuals can carry and still choose to acknowledge that experience in a masculine way. There are beings who identify as trans-masculine beings who are literally sharing stories and taking control of the narrative and sharing these stories in a way that reflects how they show up as protectors and providers and how they have masculine expressed energy, but they are womb bearers. And so the experience of birth, however you want to tell the story, as someone who identifies with the construct of womanhood, there's still another being who has a womb who's telling the same story, but honoring the divine masculine. So the womb-bearing experience, that experience of carrying, is not a story that is exclusive to beings who identify with womanhood, who were born with wombs. Now, y'all need to talk to each other about that. Y'all need to stop just hooking up so y'all could have and be in relationships, and you know what I'm saying? And y'all need to really actually communicate, because y'all seem to have two different ideas about this. and it's not correlating in community, it's not translating. And so y'all need to have a talk and stop just hooking up, because to some of us it's looking like there's a gap in communication. But what I don't appreciate is, in the process of this, often y'all are throwing beings who are born as male into the conversation as if all, and y'all make blanket general statements. And this is the thing that bothers me. When you talk about trans people, which that's my name up on the plantation, but I'm whole. I'm my mother and my father, my grandmothers and my grandfathers, and those who did not subscribe to the binary and the gender roles. Now, when you talk about trans people, when you talk about gay people, when you talk about queer people, when you talk about those of us who are born with a phallic in general, you make blanket statements. You don't clarify, you don't acknowledge, you have a Batman moment and you try to Robin everyone who was born with a penis, as if every last one of you that were born with vaginas has been out here winning in the mothering experience. As if every last one of you who were born with a vagina have just been doing stellar work, amazing. And as a result, the patriarchy has been dissolved. It's alarming that so much harm has been done to beings who were born with vaginas, that they are traumatized at the idea of someone being able to channel their energy that was not born with a vagina. Someone being able to channel something that is energy, because mama is energy. The goddess, the divine feminine, that's energy. That energy is beyond the flesh. It feels like the Black Madonna holding that little black boy baby is like a binding spell that's not allowing those who are born with vaginas and identify with the construct of womanhood to see us beyond that. And it's weird that y'all keep trying to make it flesh. Like, like mama is flesh, but mama is also something that is outside of flesh. It's an energy, just like we see that masculine energy, we see that beyond the flesh, worshiping a sky daddy, worshiping a being that we can't see. That's how mama is. And so if it's something that we can't see, then that means that it doesn't always need a body. Mama is the negative space. Mama is zero before the one. And we all come from that space. Just like you, somewhere along the lines, we forgot ourselves too. That's why it fell out instead of staying up. And perhaps our amnesias are interconnected, intertwined. Hence, the reign of the ponkiarchy. Maybe ours fall out because you forgot you could birth on your own. Cause y'all like to say that too, that y'all forgot yourselves. Y'all forgot yourselves. That's why y'all can't birth on your own. Well, maybe the reason why our poo-poos is falling out is because we all around here forgetting. It's the self exaltation of the flesh because you bring our ancestors here to participate in patriarchal worship and phallic worship. Then have the nerve to be mad at your sons for being gay when you have raised them to worship him. Won't he do it? Didn't he make a way? Won't he fix it? He may not come when you want it, but he on time and you're mad at him for putting his homeboy, his brother, before you, when you nurtured him to worship him. A lot of you have literally been helping to cast this spell. You want to be praised for that, for summoning ancestors here to fall on their knees and worship the phallic on high. I have never pushed anything out from between my legs, but I've heard mama. It came through. It came through, and it was coming through before there was even fleshly wombs to come out of. It existed, and we all existed in that stream. Some of us just forget ourselves, and that's where I'll agree with you. But being born with a vagina does not automatically mean that you're going to remember that. It just means you have a vagina. And you could physically you could physically carry beings inside of you and bring them here for what we have. For MAGA. For Father God. For racial supremacy. For capitalism. You could bring them here to participate. That's what it means. Everybody might not agree with what I'm saying, but I really want to see us heal. I hear all the time, we don't respect Black women. Some of you need to respect yourself. And if you respect yourselves, you would stop trying to force Black males to perform a role that you think they should perform because they have penises, because it fell out. The role really seemed like pack mule. It's giving pack mule. We all are capable of channeling our mothers and our fathers. It's not exclusive. We all are capable of being mothers and fathers. Y'all making things up for this reality, and that's fine. But you're not going to tell me what science and DNA and all that says. The only thing the reproductive organs mean is to tell me how I can procreate, if I'm going to have a cycle or a morning wood, how I'm going to go use the bathroom. Can I stand up if I want to? Or am I going to have to sit down and squat? How I'm going to receive pleasure. The rest of the stuff is made up. Y'all made it up as you go. But we are a combination of our ancestors. And so if you had a whole bunch of masculine ancestors, whole bunch of rough riders in your family, that's going to be the frequency. If you had a whole bunch of thoughtful, caring, loving, sensitive, that's going to be the frequency. That's going to be the energy. That's going to be the aspects of the mother, father, the whole one that you're going to carry. And how we carry them looks different on all of us. And so stop casting people in boxes based on genitalia. Because that's showing us that you already see us as cattle. And we got to do better if healing is the goal. Now, if you're just trying to put out propaganda so you could get views, then keep doing what you do. But that's what I wanted to say about this. That's all I have to add. Y'all have a beautiful day. Laylem Layler Nation, purple ones, gray ones, rise, be well, take care.